Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you have landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take pre-loved secondhand thrift store finds and share the process with you of all my vision of making these items over. So in today's video, I have a couple beautiful frames that just need some embellishment. So I'm going to share the process with you of what I do to them. So I ordered some paper off of Zazzle for this project. I had a vision in mind, and when I ordered from Zazzle, I ordered a few different sizes because I wasn't quite sure what size that I needed, but that's okay. I love to have paper on hand. So yeah, is this just not gorgeous paper? So I'm going to be using the peaches one. The other one will be for another project some other day, but I just fell in love with the paper when I saw it. So this is the frame that I want to use for my vision. I absolutely love the frame. It's in wonderful condition. I just need to take the artwork out. No, I'm not going to put the decoupage paper over top of this artwork. I'll just probably just donate the artwork, but I loved the frame. Inside of the frame is 11 by 14. Somebody was kind enough to write that on the back side of the frame. So I thought I was going to have to use a piece of cardboard and cut it down, but I just happened to have a piece of this is a canvas on cardboard, I assume. That is a perfect fit. So I just need to pop the original artwork out and I'll be able to put this canvas right in there. So I'm probably using the medium size. I can link what I ordered down in the description off of Zazzle. But I'm going to be using the Fusion's Decoupage Transfer Gel. I am really liking on this stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and coat the whole canvas. And the nice thing about this stuff is it's not supposed to, when your decoupage paper gets wet, it's not supposed to change the color at all. And of course, you do work on multiple projects, and sometimes you get little gunkies in there, so I'm just trying to make sure as I'm spreading it on, I don't have any of those darn gunkies. I want to make sure that I'm going to be centering this, so I'm just going to put it right on top. We're free-flowing here, free putting on, however you want to word it. So I've got it on. I'm going to go ahead and mist it just slightly, just enough that I put my hand in a Ziploc bag that I can start to smooth it out. But when this paper gets wet, just be really, really careful. As you see, I'm just going very gingerly, trying to get all the air bubbles and getting it to flatten down. But misting it a little bit and having your hand in a Ziploc really seems to help. I'm going to go ahead and just put another coat of the transfer gel right on top of this. It's still while it is wet. After letting this completely dry, I'm just going to take some 150 sandpaper and then start to sand the edges, and that will cut it off. Now I don't have to be super careful because a little bit of this will be going underneath the frame. But see how easily just going back and forth with that sandpaper just cuts it right off. So let's go ahead and check this out and see how it fits. It should fit perfectly. I do need to remove this hanger because it's not going to be hanging that way. I'll just put a simple, this is lightweight, I'll just put a lightweight hanging little picture hanger on there. But yes, we don't need this wire. There's a little hint of gold in this paper, which just matches up with this frame perfectly. That's why I picked this paper. And no, I am not going to be painting this frame at all. It's just absolutely gorgeous with this paper. We'll say take some sandpaper and see if I can get that little bit of writing off. I think like the 11 by 14 was probably like a wax pencil of some sort. I'm not sure what the black lead numbering is, but we'll see if we can get most of that scraped off. I'm not, like I said, I'm not painting this frame. I just thought, well, I know it's the backside, but let's see if we can get this taken care of. And since I'm replacing it with the same type of canvas that was already there were 4 little nails that held that canvas in for years. So I'm pretty sure that these little nails will hold this canvas in. So I'm just going to put them back into place. My vision for this paper was to have some of these beautiful butterflies flying, landing on it that look like they're flying. Anyway, so I have IODs, transfers. Oh, y'all, wait till you see these. They may be more moth-like than butterflies, but the muted tones match this paper, which match my vision. So there's just a little hint here and there of some blues and some oranges or peaches. I just now need to pick out which ones I want to put on here. That's always the hard decision because some of them are bigger than I want them to be. So I want them kind of like a couple big ones, a couple mediums, and then a couple small ones. So I think I'm going to do like a total of 6. I want to have these be a 3D effect, so they're not just going to be flat onto this paper. So I picked a couple pieces of cardstock, trying to see what would be a little muted to go underneath, and I think this tan is perfect. So I'm going to actually put the transfers right onto this tannish cream cardstock. I have them all transferred onto the cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to seal them in so that way I don't mess anything up. So all I'm doing is taking some natural clear Homestead wax, and that's all I'm fingering it right on top of it. And it's not, that is a wonderful way to get these sealed in. I don't want to mess them up by trying to cut them out yet without sealing them in. Then I'll go ahead and just wipe off any of the excess before I start cutting them out, which is going to be a little bit of a tedious task. Some tasks are well worth the time spent because these are beautiful. So got all 6 of them cut out, but I don't want you to see that tan cardstock. So I'm going to do a little rub and buff. I'm going to start off with the antiquing rub and buff, antique gold. I think that it matches, but I may have to go in and use the regular gold just to cover the back of this paper. Like I said, I'm going to have them a 3D effect, so you're going to be seeing that paper, and I don't want you to see that tan creamish cardstock. And then if a little bit of it gets on there, I'm trying not to, it'll be just fine. I'm just making sure that now that I get it on, it's rub and buff, so I rub some of it off. Whatever did not soak into the paper. I need to start folding them. So it's not really like a folding in half, as it is like I'm folding like the wing up from where the body is, making the 2 wings meet, but I need just enough of that body to be able to put some glue to be able to glue it onto the decoupage paper. So yeah, I'm just matching up my wings. The nice thing about it is this cardstock is nice and thick, so it should be able to just, yeah, see how they stay right up? Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I got a lot of rub and buff on my fingers, but oh, this project was well worth it. Heck, I usually have paint on my fingers, so now I need to get an idea of where I want to glue them on. Oh my gosh, the colors of these match. They just match perfectly. I cannot wait to get them glued on. So all I'm going to be doing is using a little bit of hot glue just down the body of the moth, that's what we're calling it. Doesn't matter, it's still beautiful. So Yep, just hot glue. I think it will be just fine. I can't even tell you my excitement of when I run across one of these frames with the glass still intact with the back. Love it. Nothing ever needs to be done with that frame itself. The glass, yes, thank you very much, and the backing. Oh, love it. So these are just, that beveled glass is, or beveled, I guess it's rounded glass, but it is beautiful. Now, I would like to update, even though I have made these over quite a few times, I am going to actually paint this purpley velvet black. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a mister bottle, mist the fabric down of the velvet, and then I'm just going to paint right on top of it. Misting the fabric down should keep the fabric nice and soft while I'm adding the paint. So it's kind of like a paint wash for fabric. There's no need to seal anything in because Fusion Paint has paint, primer, and top coat all in one. You might see a little bit of the hue of the burgundy underneath, but it just transforms it and gives it a new look. So I want to add some of this. I think these are like roots, maybe. Anyway, root knots, which are harder than rocks. But I need to, unfortunately, cut a little piece off to fit at the bottom because I want to add some dried flowers to this, which is just timeless. And unfortunately, I just need a wee slice, just a little slice. It can't be very thick to fit underneath that glass. And I am not always a fan of cutting tools, so I won't torture you as I'm holding my breath cutting this to what I need it to be. Hobby Lobby is definitely ready for spring just like I am. So they have their 40% off sale on their spring items, and part of the dried flowers was the 40% off. The last one I like to buy them. So now I'm just going to pick out pieces and parts of these two different dried flower bunches to add on to here. So when you're working on this type of a dome glass, I only can work in the middle because if you get anything that's too thick, it won't let the glass go back onto the bottom. The dried flowers, I don't know what they're called by any means. I am not a master gardener. I loved these little buds that weren't open, but unfortunately, when they're flipped to their side like that, they stick out too much. So I kind of had to keep checking my glass to make sure that everything was still going to fit. But I'm like, I bought this bunch because I wanted to be able to use those. Now that I've done my dry fit, I'm just going to go ahead and start getting things glued down. And yet again, I can't bunch it up too awful thick because I'm going to do the wood pieces at last. So they're hiding the bottom of the dried flowers. I still cannot bunch them up too awful thick by any means. This is really just eyeball into what you think you like, what your eye finds visually appealing. So I was determined to use these. So what I did was cut the bud off the stem and they would fit that way. They were just off to their side. They were too thick for the glass. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue them down like that. I'll still use the stem. The stem will be fine. I'll just get the little buds glued on there first. See, it'll work. I think I have all the colors that I'm going to add. I think the yellow, the green, the white, the cream all play wonderfully on each other, especially with that black background. Now I'm just going to go ahead and glue my little slivers, making sure my thickest part is towards the middle, constantly checking that everything is going to fit underneath the glass. But I also need to add some dried grass to this, some of that Spanish moss. I think we'll just finish off that bottom area. Constantly tapping it too to make sure that once I get it all glued together, I'm not going to have all these little pieces and parts floating around. The easiest way I find to reattach the back is to because if you try to just sit your frame down, that glass then gets pushed backwards, but you need to have your back flat in there. So I just take a couple towels on each side of the frame, lift the frame up so the glass has room that it's not sitting on anything, and then all I'm going to do is just hot glue the back onto the frame itself. And then after I get it hot glued on there, because this piece of cardboard's a little bit of a hot mess, I'll just take some contractor's paper and some hot glue and just get that cleaned up. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Yes, just two beautiful frames that just needed to stay as is. So what did you think of the decoupage paper and those beautiful butterflies just flying right off that paper? I just absolutely love it. And there's just something classic about dried flowers that, oh, those oval frames are just amazing. Yes, this is Tater, who loves to be the center of attention. I just came in from the workshop, and yeah, who cares about an ending when you have a little kitty cat that wants to be cuddled? So thank you so much for watching today's video, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this content for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video, and we will see you next time and you can see what we're up to. Bye!